Coming up, a deadly fire in Sanchong of New Taipei City claimed 6 lives on March 23rd. City volunteers in Jordan help a Syrian refugee baby undergo surgery for umbilical hernia. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. At 3 a.m. on March 23rd, a deadly building fire occurred in Sanchong, New Taipei City. As of the 24th, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Among the 6 deceased was 52-year-old Lin Lijuan, who was a Tzu Chi commissioner. When her Dharma family heard of the tragic news, they rushed to see how they can help ease the family's pain.
An early morning fire in central New Taipei City claimed 6 lives. It took the firefighters an hour and a half to finally put out the blaze. Of the 6 deceased, 1 was discovered on the balcony and 5 were in a bedroom. There was only 1 survivor. The only survivor of the fire is the nephew of the family. The eldest victim was a male, 56 years old, while the youngest was a girl, only 15. At the time, firefighters did the best to contain the blaze. However, the fire that started from the ground floor just shot up to the top of the building, as told by a witness.
Fire started by the 2 scooters that were parked in front. A loud sound of an electrical short was heard.
Looking at the scooters that have been reduced to ash, investigators are not ruling out any possibilities for the moment.
What was the cause of the fire? Was it set on purpose? The answers and more details are still under our investigation.
The investigators will continue their search until the truth is uncovered. Meanwhile, upon hearing of this terrible news, Tzu Chi volunteers arrive at the scene early in the morning to comfort the bereaved family members and see how else they can help.
他平常就是很热心在当志工，我们会尽力来协助啦，你们都要节哀哈。谢谢你们。都要节哀哈，这个对啊，有时候无常发生的事情，我们也没有办法去预防。
Among the 6 lives that were lost, 52-year-old Lin Lijuan was a Tzu Chi volunteer. She became a commissioner 4 years ago and was quite involved in various activities. People saw her as a humble and responsible person.
她乐于参与组里面的任何的活动，包括她。
She was very active in our activities and often helped to guide new recruits. She made new volunteers feel at home and was also a leader of our children's Tzu Chi courses.
那个儿童成长班的队服妈妈。
Many of our Dharma family are at a loss upon hearing of her sudden passing, especially Yu Mingling, who was certified together with her.
我就告诉她说，今天3月23号。
I messaged her to tell her that on March 23rd, there is going to be a Lotus Sutra chanting event. She replied back that she would attend, but who knew she couldn't make it at all.
With a heavy heart, Tzu Chi volunteers give their Dharma sister Lin Lijuan a final farewell and send her their love and blessings.
In Serbia, Tzu Chi volunteers who are continuing their refugee relief mission have invited refugees at Adasevic Refugee Center to try instant rice. Haven't tasted rice for a long time, many refugees were delighted to be able to enjoy instant rice. In addition, after learning about Tzu Chi's work, 1 Syrian refugee even made a small donation to help others in need. In Serbia, carrying their luggage, these refugees are ready to transfer to Prince Pavic at the request of Commission for Refugees and Migration, because conflicts often take place in a crowded refugee camp in Sid. Although only some 100 refugees are currently left in the refugee camp in Sid, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to carry out refugee relief mission. For instance, they have introduced Tzu Chi to the refugees at Adasevic Refugee Center. At the occasion, they also introduced instant rice and even asked the refugees to try it. his translation app, the volunteer has asked the refugees to cherish food. Knowing every grain of rice is hard to come by, this refugee brings with him unfinished instant rice. After more than 20 days of interaction, the volunteers have bonded with the refugees. Among them, several girls have even learned a sign language song, "We Are Family." In addition, one Syrian refugee, who used to be a hotel chef, is deeply moved by the volunteers and therefore made a donation despite being on the voyage.
So after this problem come in different country, you go in there, you help. Yeah, I need help you this group, you know. I am sorry, I don't give too much, okay? Yeah, thank you very much for you.
Lastly, the refugee children's drawings of houses express their longing for a stable home. Despite the challenges ahead, city volunteers will be by the refugee side on their path to a better future. In addition to relief actions in Serbia, the Tzu Chi Foundation has also been caring for migrant families across Europe. With a recent mission in Perugia, central Italy, local volunteers from Italy and some from Frankfurt, Germany, work together to extend some care to refugees coming from North Africa.
Tzu Chi volunteers have come to central Italy to help offer assistance to some refugees from North Africa. Perugia is a simple Italian town, but since 2014, the EU Commission has designated it as a transit point for refugees coming through the country. Today's volunteer effort is thanks mainly to local volunteer Wen Jianlan. Although there are very few volunteers in Italy, the mission was able to gather support using the internet. In the end, volunteers from Rome, Venice, and even some from Frankfurt, Germany were all able to come assist in the effort. With a little song and dance, this group of young refugees and the volunteers are able to bond.
Sometimes they're unhappy, sometimes they're worried about the future, and sometimes they react to these feelings maybe with a little bit of aggressiveness. And instead I saw them very involved and very happy. So I think it's been a very, very nice day for all of us.
Even though the refugees don't understand the meaning of the Chinese lyrics, they are still moved by the love shown by volunteers and the compassion of all the workers at the refugee center.
I think it's the most important thing is to welcome the foreigners very well, because they will be a part of our society.
I know that I'm being loved. There are people that love me, and I'm going to extend the same love to other people too. I'm so happy today with the whole event that happens today. I'm overwhelmed. I'm happy. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to the organizers of this event. I'm so grateful. I'm happy.
Later, the African refugees watch a video about Tzu Chi's relief missions in Serbia. Concerned about the uncertain future, at least they know that they are surrounded by love.
The ongoing Syrian civil war has forced millions of people to become refugees and interrupted Syrian children's education. In Taiwan, some fifth graders in Nanguo Elementary School in Zhanghua have been paying attention to this crisis for the past 2 years. The students have recorded their self-introduction and written cards, which they hope can be delivered into the hands of Syrian children with the help of volunteers.
In this drawing, the little girl is crying inside a tattered tent. Another picture depicts a family fleeing their home with luggage. These are the conditions of Syrian refugees in the eyes of these fifth graders.
They built a tent piecing together tattered cloths in the wild. It could leak and collapse because it is not sturdy.
Children their age are living a totally different life in Syria. Millions of Syrians have been forced to flee their hometowns because of war. These students at Nanguo Elementary School became aware of this issue 2 years ago. In January of this year, they interviewed Tzu Chi volunteer Tzu Chi from Turkey to understand how he helped Syrian refugees pursue an education.
Some of them do not have homes. Among those kids you just saw, many do not have a good house to live in, so the school is like their home.
In addition, the students have recorded their self-introduction and written good wish cards, hoping to send their best wishes to Syrian children through the help of volunteers.
I love going to school because I can make many friends here.
I hope they can smile every day.
Expressing their love for Syrian refugees in their own way, the students hope their best wishes will cross all boundaries and reach the children in Syria.
For one newborn girl in Jordan facing a life-threatening condition, Tzu Chi volunteers were there to see that she received the help she needed. 4-month-old Ila from Syria was suffering from umbilical hernia. Her mother, a refugee fleeing the Syrian war, was desperately seeking help for her daughter when she found Tzu Chi volunteers caring for refugees in Ramtha. Thanks to Tzu Chi's assistance, the necessary surgery was provided.
After the successful procedure, young Ilaf, only 4 months old, gradually drifts off to a peaceful sleep in the arms of a volunteer. On March 10th, Ilaf's mother returns for a checkup following surgery. Thankfully, everything is healing properly. After worrying for months, without knowing when or where help might arrive, Ilaf and her family needed a miracle. Now they can rest easy thanks to the compassion of Tzu Chi volunteers.
For the past 20 years, Tzu Chi volunteers in Brazil have set aside third Sunday of the month to offer a free clinic. Volunteers and doctors visit remote regions lacking medical services and treat the poor's ailments. The most recent free clinic was held at a local school in Osasco of the greater Sao Paulo area.
A free clinic hosted by Tzu Chi is being set up in a local school in Osasco of the greater Sao Paulo area. The principal of the school and faculty all came to help. Tzu Chi volunteers praised the teachers for educating their children on the importance of preventing dengue fever. However, looking at the long queue of patients before the start of the free clinic, it's easy to see how medically deprived this area is. In the past 20 years, Brazil's Tzu Chi volunteers have set aside the third Sunday of the month to be Free Clinic Day for remote villages. The doctors that participate volunteer their services and even pay for their own transportation to get there. Despite the free services, doctors deliver comprehensive checks and even medication. The heavy rain earlier in March had caused much distress in Osasco. Volunteers have already set a date for a distribution event to take place. City Councilor Alex arrived bearing gifts to help the distribution in hopes of providing for his fellow countrymen in need.
Besides promoting its cause through publications, the Tzu Chi Foundation also has a radio and TV stations. In today's look at Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary series, we learn about the history of Tzu Chi Radio. At first, the radio broadcast was run by housewives who know nothing about broadcasting. But now it airs a variety of programs online and has won numerous awards.
Driving towards the Hualien prison on Route 9, Tzu Chi volunteer Gao Wei-yin was formerly an inmate. Today he is revisiting the prison to inspire other inmates.
People deviate onto the wrong path, perhaps due to a wrong thought. However, if they can learn to think properly, the result might be different.
Gao dedicates himself to helping inmates turn over a new leaf in life, for he was once in their shoes. Dreaming of becoming a big-time gangster growing up, Gao finally ended up in the prison for all his wrongdoings. It wasn't until he was introduced to Tzu Chi by another inmate and began listening to Tzu Chi radio that he began to repent.
Being able to listen to the radio program was great. It began to transform me from the inside, so I am very grateful for Tzu Chi's radio program, which gave me the chance to make good vows.
Inmates are empowered by the rich content of Tzu Chi's radio broadcasts and drawn by the magnetic voice of its radio hosts. On November 16, 1985, Tzu Chi's radio program was first broadcasted on the Tiannan radio station. At the time, donations were needed to help build the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital. Thus, volunteer Ke Meiyu sought out the help of radio host Lin Yijie.
所以台电了解组织这个团体，甲知影师傅的精神，将这要介绍给您知影尔。
3 years later, volunteers Ji Jinyang and Wen Suzhen also signed on as hosts. The three housewives became the core of Tzu Chi Radio. By November of 1989, Tzu Yun, who studied radio broadcasting, quit her job as a public servant and also came on board.
各位听众朋友，阿弥陀佛。
这个就是最早期的。
Here's a reel-to-reel tape recorder from the old days. Here are some small reels and big reels. Before, when we had to record a program, as we didn't have our own studio, we would have to carry the reels in our backpack.
In time, the recording medium evolved from reels to compact cassettes, which help add the sutra of the fundamental vows of the Bodhisattva Sitaigaba by Master Zhen Yan.
那么我们的电台节目呢，开播之后的4个月马上就从台湾的北部到了中部发生了。
In November of 2015, Tzu Chi Radio celebrated its 30th anniversary, and all former hosts came back to reflect on the progress made in the past 30 years together.
祝福慈济广播30岁生日快乐！
谢谢，感恩。
Initially the Tzu Chi Radio division, now it has grown into a department and even broadcasts online through its internet radio station. At first only airing just one program, now many different varieties of programs are aired 24/7.
这都是声音要用的。
Inside this recording studio, this man is acting funny to create the sound effects needed for the DaAi radio drama, which features real-life stories and are narrated by volunteer voice actors.
当初跟道具组在就沟通的时候
We had a discussion with the props department and told them about the common sound effects needed in the radio drama. So they helped design these different doors and windows from different eras.
那种感觉。
As they all make different sounds.
那种感觉，那个声音完完全全是不一样的。
The seemingly low-tech solution has helped DaAi radio drama win nominations for the prestigious Golden Bell Awards of 2013. Both the sound effect and the planning and compilation received nominations, with the latter winning the award.
得奖的是 王秀芳音乐共和国大爱广播剧场财团法人慈济传播人。
Worried about the decreasing radio listenership, DaAi Internet Radio was established to broadcast online. It even features a live video chat room so its audience can feel more involved.
送上的这第一首歌曲是我们的黑弟好朋友这位新朋友今天才进来的，要点播的这首歌是《爱是一座金山》。
我就比如说。
For example, the Tzu Chi Foundation carries out its missions all over the world, such as in the 9/11 attacks or Indonesia, basically wherever there is a disaster. If you can combine video footage with sound, you can inspire compassion in more people. So a radio station still has its advantages. I believe radio broadcast is here to stay.
Currently, all programs on DaAi Internet Radio are also available for download, so people can listen in wherever they are, just as if they were listening to a live show. With the advancements in technology, DaAi Radio can be accessed by all anywhere in the world.
The Tzu Chi Culture and Communication Foundation has initiated an event called Keep the Young Grasses Growing by bringing books and photo exhibitions to schools. Their first stop is at Zhentian Elementary School in Taichung. Let's join them there.
In this school's hallway are the photographs from Tzu Chi's Rhythms magazine. Every photo really attracts students' attention.
I like to learn more about these animals. The photos in Taiwan's green food allow me to learn where the food comes from.
Over 600 books are on display in this room. All of them will be given to the school after the exhibition is over.
I'm happy to have so many books to read, as I don't need to buy them.
An event organized by Tzu Chi Culture and Communication Foundation is at Zhentian Elementary School in Taichung, Taiwan, to exhibit photographs and books to help the students learn outside the classrooms. The volunteers are there to explain the exhibitions.
The looks in the students' eyes at the exhibition are different from when they are in class. It means they are attracted to the exhibition. I believe by combining reading, writing, and observing, this Keeping the Young Grasses Growing event is very valuable.
Tzu Chi also offers free magazines to the teachers to help them teach the students.
The master said we shouldn't just accompany these students, but the adults as well. It makes me realize we volunteers should grow too. Even when we become old someday, we must keep on learning too.
The students broaden their horizons and grow in character through reading. Tzu Chi volunteers will be by their side, helping them with love.
In Taiwan, students from Tzu Chi youth class in Kaohsiung recently went to a nursing home to care for the elderly residents there. Although some students were shy at first, they quickly learned how to interact with the seniors there. From the experience, many realized the true meaning behind the saying, "Don't delay in doing good deeds and being filial." Let's take a look.
These young students are from a teenager growth class in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. This is their first time accompanying the elderly residents at the nursing home, but they all appear very shy. After going through some activities, these young students finally open themselves up and are able to smile. The grandmas are happy to see the teenagers expressing their energy. The Tzu Chi Teenager Growth Class sent its students to this nursing home so the students can learn through life experience.
When they saw us, some wept and some laughed happily. It makes me feel I must be filial to my parents.
Some students express their regret after accompanying these elderly.
I used to quarrel with my grandma often. Then she passed away, and I can't be filial to her anymore. So when I see so many seniors here, it makes me want to show my concern to them.
Don't delay in doing good deeds and being filial. It's not just a slogan. It has become a firm vow in the hearts of these students.
In Taiwan, a kindergarten in Kaohsiung donated 500 fire alarms to the fire department last year. Among the families that installed this gift, 3 families later escaped from fires safely because of the alarms. Therefore, the teachers and students at the kindergarten once again raised money to buy 750 fire alarms this year. They hope the fire department will help install them for families in remote regions of Kaohsiung. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.